We're now going to present the key recommendations stemming from our research findings. The first related to site planning and context of housing. Site selection and planning will be particularly relevant to the provision of suitable levels of both security as well as access to local amenities for people living with disability. Specific to this research, what we could see was that well-located housing in close proximity to public transport and wheelchair-accessible shops and services made a significant difference to the participation opportunities that were afforded to this group of tenants.
The second key recommendation from our findings relates to planning and layout of the site. Passive approaches to the control of light, temperature and other environmental factors can be assisted by early siting and orientation decisions. This is particularly important for residents who spend a considerable amount of time within the home. The planning of thresholds, circulation and spatial layout must also think about the presence of support workers within the home and the need of residents for privacy. Fitting of the fit-out to particular residents was also a really important thing to consider. In this case, preparation and general layout was already completed before residents were selected. However, the tailoring of joinery installation may be able to suit particular residents' physical abilities and support further development of independence. More broadly, there may be provision for customisation and flexibility to help the individualisation to suit particular needs. A trade-off between home-like appearance and functional effectiveness was also found through our project. A more nuanced investigation of home furnishing options that can simultaneously provide a functional environment for this client group is really important. Common expectations of what home is supposed to look like can be contrasted with what home can look like for people with disability. The degrees of physical access drawing really demonstrated to us that people had furnished a home so that it looked like what home should look like, but in fact they couldn't necessarily occupy it as richly as possible.
Transition planning needs a strong focus in delivering new models of housing and support to people with disability. Preparation for transition to new accommodation requires considerable input. Site visits and assisting the person to build links in their new local community prior to their move is beneficial. Training on the use of the new home environment, as well as those integrated technologies, is key to that successful transition, but follow-up monitoring and additional input may also be required to assist the person to harness and use the environment that's been delivered. Another key area that requires a sustained focus is building skills and independence within the new home and technology-enabled environment. A continuous focus on development of effective routines and approaches to tasks of daily living that foster independence will require a long-term approach. Consistent implementation of these routines is also required, and monitoring might be necessary to ensure that support staff follow those routines with the person in the way that best assists in skill development. This post-occupancy evaluation research allowed an in-depth examination of the home automation and communication technologies delivered in the housing. What we learnt from the residents that moved into these new homes was that detailed testings and system training was needed prior to the person moving into their apartment in order for them to have both the confidence and the skills to use that technology over time. Consistent use of the technology by the residents themselves must be encouraged, and that model of support that continues to prompt independent use rather than support staff using the technology on behalf of the tenant is key. And this is certainly going to reduce that technology abandonment that we've seen in other research with people with disability using assistive technologies in housing. Finally, our research has shown further that exemplary built and technology design alone will not influence the outcomes of people living with the significant implications of neurotrauma. That really skilled built and technology design must be coupled with a targeted and consistent model of person-centred support that takes a focus on building the skills of the person and allowing them to live a life in a way that they want and with a level of participation that they desire. What we saw from our research is that variation in the approach of the support staff within the housing model led to a difference in how skills were developed or whether tasks were done with a person or for them. This research further indicated that a sustained model of person-centred active support is going to provide better outcomes for people living in well-designed, technology-enabled housing. This interdisciplinary approach to post-occupancy evaluation has delivered rich research findings.
We're now looking forward to extending this methodology to a range of other sites, and we'll look forward to sharing those findings with you. Thank you.